Welcome, it's Sally here, and welcome to Your Giftedness. This is a video on discovering profiles and the options that they provide to you in really defining who you are. And when you know who you are, how you best operate, and how you're best motivated, then you can actually overlay all of this giftedness into your business development and into your marketing and sales, so it becomes easy for you, efficient, and very, very effective and profitable. Now, your giftedness is something that most people find excruciatingly confusing because they don't know generally what their giftedness is. On occasion, they can see other people's giftedness and sort of have that sort of moment of frustration where they say things such as, "Oh, I wish I was like that." Now, because of the way society has got, we've become very competitive and in a lot of cases very comparative as well. So in other words, we compare other people, but we've never really taken the time or been shown how to actually look inwards and look into ourselves to discover who we really are and where our natural giftedness and strengths lie. So I find this topic really, really exciting, and I work with clients a lot as it relates to helping them discover their giftedness and what giftedness elements they want to bring to the forefront to make their business and life much, much easier. Now, the reason I am very, very passionate about very specific profiles is because over the last 15 years, they have helped me out immensely. So I have tried a profiling system about 10 years ago. It gave me a lot of clarity around the game that I played as a business owner and enabled me to make that game the game that I played exceedingly well. And that was where I first discovered this whole mixing and matching and maximizing giftedness that I have, and the ability to see the individualness in other people as well. So today in this video, I want to share with you some of the profiles that I have used, that I have found particularly helpful, and just explain what they are. So this is all about you discovering the insights into who you really are, so we can then utilize those insights and put them into your business and your marketing, as I've mentioned before. Now, the one that's been around for a very, very long time is the DISC profile. And it's something that actually originally confused me more than it did give me the insights that I was looking for. But I've recently been explained this in a different manner. And you've got the option here as we move through. This is in your worksheets, you've actually got the options to jump onto the DISC profile done by Tony Robbins. Now, the reason I've recommended this one is because it's free, and generally speaking, people will charge up to $250 to do this profile. Now, the PDF itself is very, very extensive, and there's lots of information in there. There's components about behaviour, and all those sorts of things that you can look into. What I have found the most beneficial, just to give yourself a snapshot, because it's not about bogging down and making it confusing for you, it's really just giving you a bit of a snapshot as to who you really are, and then as you build on that, you may want to build on the information further. But today we're just going to grab a snapshot of the DISC profile, and then the other one that I have here is a Strengths Finder that I'll also explain to you as well. What I wanted to do just quickly is actually utilize my DISC profile system and then the values profile as a way of explaining what you'll see when you've actually done the profile for yourself. So you can jump onto the web address on the Tony Robbins worksheet or discovery sheet that I've sent through to you. You'll then get a fairly lengthy PDF, which is about 22 pages in length for the DISC profile. And what I actually want you to have a look for is the example graph, or the sample graph that I've got as the example here on the video screen. And I just want you to have a look at that at this stage. And the way that I've found the best way to explain this is to have a look at the DISC profile, as you can see it there on the screen. And the red, or the D, is generally described as your leadership. The I in the yellow there is generally your salesmanship and or communication. The S is your emotional quotient, so your emotional quotient, how you interact with other people and those sorts of things. And then C is the attention to detail. So that's what represents the 4 different colours. You'll also see there at the side is the grey, and that's generally deemed that that is how you're actually representing yourself as at the current stage. So from a leadership perspective, I am a lot stronger than the game I'm currently playing. And that relates to the fact that I'm working more from home. When I filled this out, when I'm actually up on stage and I'm actually delivering and training and in my total flow, then that grey would be sitting up at a higher area. Now the other really interesting scenario here is mine is profile is obviously based on females. So this information is skewed particularly for females because that's one of the brackets that you fill out when you do the profile online. The normal or the average or the average I suppose percentage points are between 40 and 60. So in my case, I'm very strong in leadership, very strong in communication and salesmanship, and very strong in that empathy and emotional quotient there as well, and not too bad there on the detail. It's CPA, somebody that's a chartered accountant, that it has a lot of strong detail. That blue area would be much higher. So I have attention to specific detail. Somebody else can also have a very high area and is very strong on detail, but their detail may be specifically around trains. For example, if they're really passionate about trains. So that attention to detail is generally fairly specific to a specific area, unless it's through the roof, and then obviously if someone's in the accounting field, then their attention to detail would be numbers. So that's really just what I wanted to sort of speak to you. The sweet spot is really that 40 to 60% in that area. And if you're over that 40 to 60%, then obviously that's something that's very strong for you. So for me, my leadership role is about leading a community. My salesmanship and influence is around influence people to being better and playing their best game. I understand and have the ability to walk in people's shoes, which is that green area, and I've got attention to detail, and my attention to detail is seeing in others what they're not yet seeing in themselves and helping them explore that. So that's how that all interprets for me and how that plays out specifically for me. Now, if we move on to the values index, and this PDF will also come out to you once you've completed the profile online, and that's about 30 pages in length, the PDF that you'll get from Tony Robbins' website. Now, again, lots and lots of information on there, and I just want you to just be able to treat it and take it as a snapshot. So you've got a variety of different coloured columns there, as you can see from the one on the screen. The green one is aesthetics, which is balance and harmony. Economics is creating balance between economic return and other people's needs. Individualistic is the orange one, which demonstrates high independence and self-confidence. Political generally indicates strong leadership and maintain control. And by politics, it means, you know, having the ability to stand up and speak about something or demonstrate strength around that topic. So that's standing on stage and doing whatever those sorts of communicative perspectives are. Altruistic is the yellow one. Regulatory is the grey one, which is about structure and order. And theoretical is the brown one, which is understanding and knowledge. So that just gives you a really quick snapshot of what they are. Once again, the normal band is that 30 to 50%, which is sort of that mark through there that you can see there's that grey line through there. So again, very individualistic. I like to be in control. I like to see the individualness of other people, and obviously I like to share and speak and inspire others to do more. So that's where that relates. I also like things to be aesthetically pretty, and if anyone's been to my events, I sit there and fuss to make sure the room or the environment is very, very good. This one here's economics. Got a reasonably good understanding of economics, but I'm not driven by economics. I'm driven by how I can actually assist and help other people be the individual and be better than they currently see themselves. And then these are the understandings of knowledge and structure. So I have an appreciation and understanding of structure and knowledge, and that's where that sits. So that just gives you a really good quick snapshot. Now when you're looking at this from a business perspective, depending on how yours is, we'll then look at what this means and how that then relates to your business and business growth. So very much for me, mine's about standing on stage, communicating to many, making a difference, helping people understand their individualness, and leading from that place. Now, as an example, I've just got an additional one here of a friend of mine and a client. So she's very similar to me in that she's very strong in the leadership and influence. Now, in particular, this person has very much more influence, which also relates very strongly because I know her very well. She plays a very influential game at a global level. So that to me relates very, very well for her. She's not so strong on detail. And she struggles with this a little bit, so this is where somebody like me as a coach helps her focus on what it is she's actually trying to achieve in her leadership arena and her influence arena. She's got a lot of empathy and emotional understanding, so that's how she relates really well with people, and she just has a coach, she's got a couple of them that just helps her keep focused on the details that she's currently working towards. Now, if you have a look at the values here, quite different to me in that she's much stronger in the economics than perhaps I am, and less so in it looking everything needing to look nice. So what this really means for her, if I do a comparison, we're very similar with the individualization, needing to be individual and ourselves. She's very strong in being able to lead from the front and speak and communicate in that manner. But she also has a very, very strong understanding of how what she does here relates to a transactional outcome. So that's how that relates. So more than welcome to assist you understand this snapshot in any way that you need. So if you do need a hand, then do just book in a time and we can go through this a little bit more specifically with you. But it is a very, very good, valuable tool and does really help you focus on the areas that you need to in business.